From our studios in Tokyo, this is NHK Newsline. I'm Ross Mihara. South Korea's government is expressing concern about a new type of intercontinental missile on display during a military parade in Pyongyang on Saturday. An emergency meeting of the National Security Council was convened in Seoul on Sunday. North Korea displayed what appears to be a new type of intercontinental ballistic missile to mark the 75th anniversary of the founding of North Korea's ruling Workers' Party. The South Korean military released a statement on Sunday to express its concern. It vows to be ready with a response to any threat and is conducting detailed analysis with U.S. forces. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said in a speech before Saturday's parade that he hopes North and South Korea will join hands once the global health crisis is over. Seoul's Unification Ministry says Kim is indicating that inter-Korean ties could be improved. The ministry says it hopes that bilateral cooperation will resume for humanitarian aid and health care when circumstances allow. The Japan Coast Guard says 2 Chinese patrol ships have entered Japan's territorial waters off the Senkaku Islands in the East China Sea. Coast Guard officials have issued warnings to the 2 vessels to immediately leave Japan's waters. The officials say 2 of the 3 Chinese vessels that had been sailing just outside the territorial waters made the intrusion off Taisho Island on Sunday morning. They also say the patrol ships remained in the waters and repeatedly attempted to approach a Japanese fishing boat. This is the first time since August 28 that Chinese government ships have entered Japan's territorial waters off the Senkaku Islands, and the 18th time this year. Japan controls the islands. China and Taiwan claim them. The Japanese government maintains the islands are an inherent part of Japan's territory in terms of history and international law. It says there is no issue of sovereignty to be resolved over them. Turning to Thailand, where police say a freight train slammed into a tour bus, leaving 18 people dead and 35 injured. The collision occurred on Sunday morning at a railway crossing in the eastern province of Chachoengsao. Those who died were the driver and passengers of the bus. Investigators say the bus was carrying about 60 people when it crossed the tracks in the rain. It was traveling from a neighboring province for a religious ceremony at a Buddhist temple near the accident site. There were no barriers at the crossing. The train conductor is believed to have seen the bus from about 300 meters away and to have hit the brakes, but that didn't prevent the accident. Police believe the bus driver failed to notice the oncoming train. Japan's foreign ministry will launch a research study designed to create international rules for handling infectious disease outbreaks aboard international cruise lines. In February, coronavirus cluster infections were confirmed aboard the Diamond Princess after the cruise ship entered a port near Tokyo. The vessel was registered in Britain and operated by a U.S. company. More than 700 passengers and crew tested positive. The Japanese government offered them treatments to prevent the spread of infection. The Japanese Foreign Ministry plans to propose a draft of new rules to the international community. It is intended to assist in handling infectious diseases on cruise ships and clarify who bears responsibility. Japan's health ministry is conducting an online survey on how the coronavirus is affecting mental health. This comes as the World Health Organization says feelings of isolation and lost income are causing people to become dependent on alcohol or suffer from sleep disorders. The health ministry began its survey of over 10,000 people last month. It's concerned that stress from staying home and fear of catching the virus may be damaging mental health. Survey respondents are being asked if they feel uneasy about work or daily life. They're asked about changes in appetite, amount of sleep, and time spent playing computer games. Officials hope to offer treatment and support before symptoms appear or soon afterwards. In Tokyo's Adachi Ward, a support facility was established last year with government support. Psychiatrists and social workers provide free consultations to teenagers and young adults. Psychiatrist Uchino Takashi says people have been under increasing stress since the beginning of the year because of the pandemic. He says it's had a big impact on how people feel about life.
There are people who feel lonely or anxious because they can't go out, and their connections with others have been forcibly broken off.
Uchino says the outbreak has made people reluctant to seek mental health counseling and that they're turning to social media and video calls instead. A growing number of Japanese companies are turning their shop space into shared rental space. They're trying to meet demand for telecommuting that's arisen because of the pandemic. Aoyama Trading runs a chain of men's clothing stores nationwide. One of its shops in central Tokyo remodeled half of its sales floor to create workspace for rent. It opened the space on Thursday. Users pay by the hour to share the space. They can also get private offices and conference rooms for extra fees. Aoyama Trading hopes the new business will bring in some cash, as sales of men's business wear have fallen off badly. Meanwhile, sports club operator NAS is using restaurant space at its clubs as shared office space for members. NAS has closed its restaurants for now to prevent the spread of the virus. Observers say that as long as the pandemic continues, more businesses will likely try to meet demand for workspace outside the conventional office. Japanese electronics firms are developing specialized projection systems to help people maintain social distance. A device created by Hitachi uses sensors to locate people. It projects images of fish swimming around them in circles 2 meters in diameter. If people get too close, the fish appear to escape from their circles. Hitachi officials say they want to get the technology commercialized quickly. Mitsubishi Electric has already been selling equipment since April that projects figures on the floor to remind people to check if a facility is crowded. The system also advises them to keep social distance and only use elevators in small groups. Such devices are designed to help children and those who can't read Japanese take steps to prevent the spread of the virus. A festival in Western Japan dating back centuries has been all but canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic. At this time of the year, narrow streets in the city of Kishiwada are usually filled with wooden carts called danjiri. The parade has been called off to prevent the coronavirus from spreading. To keep the spirit of the festival alive, a priest at a shrine in the area handed out slips of paper that represent hopes for a good harvest. The papers were used to decorate a float as usual. Drums and flutes created a festive mood.
The drums create a feeling of excitement for the people of the city. I was happy to be able to join, even in a small way.
City officials say the last time the parade was canceled was immediately after World War II. Those were the stories for this hour.